It was just another quiet afternoon in the small town, the kind where people went about their lives without expecting anything extraordinary. The streets were calm, the shops slowly closing after lunch, and the local police station sat nearly empty except for a few officers sorting through routine paperwork. That peace was shattered when the heavy glass doors burst open, and a little girl no older than 7 stumbled inside, tears streaming down her cheeks. She clutched her small backpack to her chest as though it were her only protection, her tiny voice trembling as she cried out, "Please, please follow me home." The officers froze, exchanging quick glances. Children sometimes came in lost or looking for help, but the desperation in her eyes pierced through every heart in the room. Officer Daniels, a seasoned man in his early 40s with a calm yet compassionate nature, crouched down to meet her gaze. "Sweetheart," he said gently, "what's your name?" Through broken sobs, she whispered, "Emily." The next words shook him deeply. "Please hurry, my mommy. She's not moving." Without wasting another second, the officers grabbed their radios, called for backup, and followed Emily as she led them down the streets. She ran fast for someone so small, her little legs pumping with fear and urgency. The officers tried to keep pace, their boots hitting the pavement, their hearts pounding not just from running but from dread about what they might find. Emily's sobs echoed as she repeated, "Please don't let her die, please." When they arrived at the worn-down house at the edge of town, the officers immediately noticed how quiet it was. The curtains were drawn, the front yard unkempt, and the paint on the door was chipped. Emily fumbled with the handle before pushing it open. The officers stepped inside cautiously, their senses on high alert. What they found inside stopped them cold. In the living room, a woman lay unconscious on the floor, her breathing shallow. Empty pill bottles scattered around, and the air carried the heavy scent of despair. Emily dropped to her knees beside her mother, shaking her gently. "Mommy, please wake up. I brought help." Her small hands clung to her mother's arm, and the sight melted even the toughest officer's heart. Paramedics were called instantly, rushing through the door minutes later. They worked quickly, stabilizing the woman and lifting her onto a stretcher. Emily tried to climb up after her, terrified to let go, but Officer Daniels knelt and reassured her. "She's in safe hands now. We'll be with you, I promise." As the ambulance pulled away, Daniels sat with Emily on the front steps of the house. "Can you tell me what happened?" he asked softly. Between sniffles, Emily explained that her mom had been sad for a long time. She lost her job months ago, and they had no family nearby to help. Some nights they didn't even have food to eat. Emily had seen her mom crying alone in the dark, but she never thought it would come to this. "I just didn't know what else to do," Emily whispered. "I thought if I asked the police, maybe someone would care." Those words cut deep into Daniels's heart. It wasn't just about a medical emergency anymore. It was about a little girl carrying the weight of the world on her tiny shoulders. He promised Emily then and there that she would never feel alone again. Over the next few days, Daniels and the community rallied together. Neighbors who barely spoke before started dropping off meals. Volunteers repaired the broken steps of Emily's house. A local teacher offered to tutor Emily after school so she wouldn't fall behind. Slowly, the once-forgotten family became the center of compassion in a town that had nearly forgotten the meaning of community. But the story didn't end with simple kindness. Emily's mother, Sarah, woke up in the hospital devastated by what she had done. She felt like she had failed her daughter, ashamed that Emily had to save her. At first, she resisted the help being offered. But Emily, with her innocent yet determined spirit, wouldn't let go of her mother's hand. "Mommy," she whispered one night at the hospital, "I don't care if we're poor. I just want you. You're my everything." Those words broke through the walls of despair Sarah had built around herself. Through counseling and community support, Sarah began to heal. She attended therapy sessions, found part-time work, and slowly regained hope. Each step was hard, but she pushed forward. Motivated by Emily's love and the second chance she had been given, Officer Daniels often visited, bringing small gifts for Emily and checking in on Sarah. To him, this wasn't just another case. It was a reminder of why he became a police officer in the first place: to protect, to serve, and to bring hope where it had been lost. Months later, at a community event, Emily stood on a small stage beside her mother. With her innocent voice, she shared her story about the day she ran into the police station. The crowd fell silent as she spoke about how scared she had been, but also how much kindness she found in strangers. Tears filled the eyes of nearly everyone listening. Emily finished her speech by saying, "That day I thought I lost everything. But now I know. Sometimes you just have to ask for help because there are people who care." The applause that followed was thunderous, not because Emily was eloquent, but because she was living proof of resilience, love, and the power of community. The moment left everyone in tears, not from sadness, but from the overwhelming reminder that even in the darkest times, there is light. In the end, Emily's story became more than a local incident. It became a ripple that inspired countless others to open their eyes, their hearts, and their homes. People learned that small acts of kindness could save lives, that listening could heal wounds unseen, and that hope is never truly lost as long as someone believes in you. And for Emily, the little girl who once ran crying to the police begging for help, she grew up never forgetting the lesson that even the smallest voice can spark the biggest change.